Somebody asked me my opinion on Taekwondo. I made videos in the past talking about Taekwondo. This is a new video speaking about my current thoughts on it. I'm just gonna share it really quickly. Um, so Taekwondo, it means the way of the fist and the way of the foot and fist, which is a good meaning. I like the meaning of it because the do with the Taekwondo, just like the Jeet Kune Do and the Aikido, and I like that do part, just like the Judo. Do means the way, so they're supposed to be representing this yin yang, which is basically what I'm all about, that balance and harmony. So it's supposed to represent that. And you notice like Tai Chi's representing that, Bruce Lee's representing that with the Jeet Kune Do, with his logo had the yin yang in it. Basically, it was highlighting the yin yang. Aikido is supposed to be representing the balance. Alright, so Taekwondo is supposed to be representing that balance too. Alright, so it's not too hard, not too soft. It's supposed to be a good thing. So Taekwondo has been very, very popular in the US. They've become very successful as far as business planning is concerned. You could find Taekwondo schools everywhere. It's the most practiced style in America, as far as I know. They have really catered to the Western audience and giving them all these different belt rankings to strive towards, because they know that's how the Western mind operates. They like to strive towards certain goals. And they also focused a lot on developing a very comprehensive kids training program. So Taekwondo is very well known for training kids. Alright. The techniques are very much like not that dangerous. Like they're very safe techniques that they teach. Like they're not like Taekwondo is more of a martial art than it is self-defense or combat sport. You know, I respect Taekwondo that, their business program and structure is not solely revolved around competition and beating people up and destroying people and proving that their style is the best in the world. I respect that. It's a great exercise because you're moving your body a lot, you're kicking a lot. So they do a lot of dynamic movements, a lot of kicking, a lot of jumping, which gives you a very great cardio workout. So most of the people that I've met that practice Taekwondo, which is a lot of people that practice that I've met, they generally are like pretty nice people. Some of them are humble, which is very good. Others, they kind of have like a false sense of like pride about what they do, where they they think a little bit too much of themselves when they should kind of realize that it's just, when you say that you practice Taekwondo, is not too different than saying that you play baseball. Like you shouldn't really let it stroke your ego too much because it's not really like that effective combatively. Some of these people walk around, you know, acting as if Taekwondo is like having a gun. It's not like that. Then you have people out there that have guns and they really think they own the world or something like that, like police officers or whatever the case may be. But the people that practice Taekwondo gotta realize that even though it's categorized as a martial art, it's more like it's not really that much focus on the combatives. It's more about getting a good exercise. It's more about maybe learning a little discipline. It's more about learning a few cool techniques, and but it's not really focused on like real self-defense or like real strategy and tactics of like real combat. It's just kind of like, and it's more of a kids focused type of style as far as what it's been made out to be in America. Like the real Taekwondo that was created by the real founders or whatever, I'm sure was a lot more different than what you see here being commercialized, which is basically extremely watered down to what it's supposed to be. But I also notice, which is a clear fact, is that a lot of these people are not that talented that are wearing black belts. Like, the black belts are just basically like given away like candy. Like, it's not really anything that's actually earned through like a lot of hard work. And like a truly developed like martial artist, like their ranking system is extremely flawed because there's just too many people that have, that supposedly have black belts for the Taekwondo that are not nearly at a level of high proficiency. Another thing about the Taekwondo is that I would criticize it for is that there's really not much emphasis on overall well-balanced development of fitness. It's not even incorporated in the ranking structure as far as I know. And but that's the most generally practiced thing out there. And what I do like about it is that it's not like promoting like extreme forms of violence. It's really more of a balance. Like, it doesn't really, like, it's clear that like people that practice Tai Chi do not promote violence. So people that practice Taekwondo, they typically you're not really gonna bump into like a bunch of like assholes like that are like extremely violent. You're gonna bump into people that have like egos, but they're gonna be like little kids or like girls or dweebs. People that clearly would get their asses handled to them in a real fight, but they just they hide behind the Taekwondo to kind of give them that little ego boost to make them feel like they're so cool and stuff like that. It's kind of like that, but their hand techniques are extremely flawed. Like, they basically have none. And that's an area of development that system has a extreme lack in. But Taekwondo is a part of the Olympics, so people typically use that as a goal to strive towards, during their process of development. Kicks, as far as kicks are concerned, kicks are probably one of the most hardest aspects of a martial artist's development. I think that developing really talented kicks are a lot harder than developing like proficiency in hand-to-hand combat. It's a lot harder than developing proficiency in like basic joint locking techniques and choking techniques. But it depends. I mean, some people have a really hard time gaining a lot of strength, and getting good at kicks requires a lot of flexibility as well, and that takes a lot of time as well. So kicks will take years and years to develop in order to get to like a high level of expression. But Taekwondo clearly is not complete with what they have to offer. It's just giving you a small aspect of what the total martial arts really is. So it's like a stepping stone. It's like a start point. But once you get that down, if you want to better yourself as an artist, as a true martial artist, you need to expand and be able to develop proficiency in all areas of combative development that is in lack within the Taekwondo system. But as far as Taekwondo is concerned, I would definitely recommend that over BJJ or MMA. You know, I mean, the people that you meet in Taekwondo, they're typically gonna be a lot nicer and a lot more developed spiritually and intellectually than will you find in MMA or BJJ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the difference. But I mean, a lot of this commercialized stuff, there's a lot of problems with all of it. But you know, like I said, Taekwondo, there's you know, it could be a good start point. It could be a good start point, and hopefully the teacher will introduce you to the philosophies that, you know, represent goodness within the martial arts. Because I know that the philosophy is a part of that system, you know, and whether or not the teacher will actually share that with you, who knows. But you should look more deeply into what that word actually means and look into the history of the Taekwondo, and hopefully that will give you a better understanding of what you're practicing and what it's supposed to lead towards. But no matter what you practice out there, typically it's gonna be severely corrupted compared to what the origination was, or you know, compared to what it originally started as, you know. So you're gonna kind of have to, in a way, complete the puzzle on your own. You know, whatever school that you go to, whatever instructor you learn from, typically will just have you, you know, give you a good start point. Then as you develop, you're gonna have to figure out how to bring it all together and put it all together, so then it's no longer Taekwondo. It's just, you know, martial arts, you know, and the people's individual expression of it, you know. So then you gotta learn to free yourself from all these labels and distinctions between like this and that, but rather just see it as a totality. And that's essentially what a high-level martial artist should be able to gain, that understanding, that deep understanding.